forget the invaluable lessons we've learned during our time in college. Beyond the textbooks and lectures, we've learned the importance of resilience, adaptability, and empathy. We've learned to embrace failure as a stepping stone to success, to welcome change as an opportunity for growth, and to treat others with kindness and compassion. As we venture out into the world, we will undoubtedly encounter new challenges and opportunities. Some of us may pursue further education, while others may enter the workforce or explore entrepreneurial adventures. Whatever path we choose, let us approach it with courage, curiosity, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. But let us also remember the responsibility that comes with our education. We are the leaders, innovators, and changemakers of tomorrow, entrusted with the task of shaping a better future for generations to come. We have a duty to use our knowledge and talents to make a positive impact on the world. As we bid farewell to this chapter in our lives, let us express our gratitude to those who have supported us along the way, our families, friends, mentors, advisors, and our professors. Their guidance, encouragement, and belief in our abilities have been instrumental in our success, and for that, we are truly grateful. In closing, let us embrace the opportunities that lie ahead with optimism, enthusiasm, and a sense of purpose. Let us continue to learn, grow, and challenge ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. And let us never forget the words of Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Congratulations, class of 2024. As we set forth on our respective journeys, may we carry the spirit of Western with us wherever we go. Thank you, and best wishes for a bright and promising future. Also, stay classy, go Dogs.
Thank you, President Morrison. It is now my pleasure to welcome our commencement speaker, Dr. Steve Mock. Dr. Mock is a retired professor of chemistry emeritus and climbing instructor in the Environmental Sciences Department at Montana Western. And he has led a life filled with adventure and dedication. Graduating from Manchester College in 1977, Steve and his wife Jan pursued their love for the wilderness, eventually settling in Missoula in 1978. Steve's academic pursuits led him to earn a PhD in chemistry from Montana State University in 1989, later joining the faculty at the University of Montana Western in 1991. During his tenure from 1991 to 2019, Dr. Mock taught a variety of courses, including chemistry, earth science, and rock climbing. His dedication extended beyond the classroom, serving on numerous committees and playing key roles in administrative searches, while also directing the Experience One pilot project from 2001 to 2005. Outside academia, Dr. Mock's passion for climbing led him to significant involvement in the Khumbu Climbing Center, a project of the Bozeman-based Alexville Charitable Foundation and Denali Rescue Volunteers. Serving as co-director of the Khumbu Climbing Center for 10 years, he played a vital role in training Nepali citizens in climbing and guiding. He also participated in Denali Ranger Patrols, earning him the president's role in the DRV in 2018. In recognition of his contributions, Dr. Mock received the Alumni Honor Award from Manchester University in 2023 and the National Park Service Hearts Award in 2022. Dr. Mock's dedication to learning, teaching, and his adventurous spirit in the great outdoors provide a deep reservoir of experience and accomplishments. Please help me welcome Dr. Steve Mock.
Thank you, Chancellor Reed, for such a generous introduction. I hope I can live up to the hype. Good morning, graduates, parents and family members, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, friends, and everyone else here in attendance. And congratulations to the graduates. It is an honor and privilege for me to be here this morning with you on the campus where I taught for 28 years. I know you're excited about graduating, and you're also hoping that the ceremony doesn't last too long, as you'd rather spend time celebrating with family and friends instead of listening to people talk. I'll try not to drag my part on too long. If you look at my speech, it looks like it's very lengthy, but it's actually not that long. I didn't want to use my reading glasses, so I increased the font size. So I didn't have to. There's only about 8 or 10 words per page. Looks like the first book that a first grader would start reading from. It's only missing some pictures of cute little puppies and some fuzzy bunny rabbits. But some of you may still fall asleep. Don't worry, I won't be offended. For nearly 30 years, I taught chemistry at 8 a.m. Trust me, you won't be the first person to sleep while I'm talking. You'll also be relieved to know that there won't be any chemistry in my comments. I'm proud to be with you today as we celebrate your impressive accomplishments, graduates. All of us admire the time, effort, perseverance, and dedication you've put in to get to this point on this day. Well done. You're off to a good start. We're already done with one page. One down, 86 to go. I'm grateful for such a thoughtful and flattering introduction. Chancellor Reed mentioned the 2 recent awards that I received, both of which were unexpected by me. I mentioned those awards as they would be a perfect lead-in to my talk if I could say that they were the fulfillment of lifelong dreams, worked for and eventually earned. I wish I could say that, as it would make me look like I've taken a proactive approach to my entire life, that I've discovered my passions early and led a life pursuing those passions. However, that simply would not be true. But there was plenty of hard work that required initiative and dedication. These were not lifelong dreams or even lifelong long-term goals. The truth is, when I was your age, and at your point in life, I didn't even know these things existed. What's more, they mostly didn't exist. UMW, Western Montana College at the time, was here, of course, but I didn't know that. The Kubu Climbing Center was decades in the future. The whole concept of guiding Mount Everest and the other Himalayan peaks had not yet begun. Climbing rangers were just being hired on Denali, and ranger patrols in the mountain were beginning in the mid-70s. I was still living in the farmlands of Indiana. Probably had heard of Denali, called Mount McKinley at the time, and could find Montana on a map, but likely could not have accurately located the fall. All of those things, Montana, teaching climbing skills to Sherpas in Nepal, Denali, involved mountains. When I graduated from Manchester University, then Manchester College, I'd barely seen a mountain in person and hardly knew what climbing was all about. Now, please keep in mind that my past or accomplishments and failures aren't particularly relevant to you this morning. This isn't a speech about me and my experiences, and certainly isn't a sort of example of setting goals early. But I hope is that my story can serve as an example of how stumbling along without a clear direction can still have some good results. The famous philosopher and baseball player Yogi Berra said, "If you don't know where you're going, you might end up somewhere else." Well, I certainly didn't know where I was going, and I definitely ended up somewhere else. I was in your position, your seat, 47 years ago. I have little recollection of my graduation, and I have no idea who gave the commencement address. So I have no illusions about my importance today, and I won't take myself too seriously. Maybe some of you have plans. Your goals are clear to you, and you have a definite path to follow to achieve those goals. That's impressive, admirable, something you should be proud of. I had some classmates like that at Manchester, and some of them actually followed their paths and succeeded in achieving those goals. However, I was not among them, and you may not be either. Take heart. You're not alone, and it's not unusual. Life will likely still work out anyway. To be honest, at my graduation, I didn't have any long-term plan and barely a short-term one. I graduated on a Sunday and went to work on Monday as a carpenter, doing the same job I'd done each summer while I was a student. I had a degree, but didn't apply for a single job or single graduate school. Why not? To this day, I don't really know. I like carpentry, and I guess it was easier to keep the job I had with the people I knew and liked in the familiar town where I grew up. It was comfortable, and I suspect that I could have had a pleasant and enjoyable life following that path. There would have been nothing wrong with that. It would have been a good life. If that describes you, More power to you. You know who you are and where you belong. Be happy and enjoy that life. So what happened to me? How did a country boy, a preacher's kid in Indiana, end up at UMW in Nepal teaching Sherpas how to climb and guide Everest, and spending a month every summer in Alaska volunteering on Denali? The simplest explanation is I got restless in Indiana, moved to Montana, and sort of began thinking about longer-term goals. Why did I get restless? I'm not certain of that, but some early canoe trips to northern Minnesota sparked a love for wild areas. And I was drawn by a mostly romanticized vision of the West from TV shows and movies. Moving west sure seemed like a good idea and a nice change of pace. And I also had some good fortune, just plain good luck. That's what I'm going to talk about this morning, luck, both good and bad. We frequently talk about the values of hard work, dedication, perseverance, and other attributes. No doubt there's tremendous value in those, and we have some control over them, but I don't need to explain that to you as graduates, as you've already demonstrated all of those attributes. And they also don't explain all successes nor all failures in life. We seldom examine the vagaries of life, the good luck and the bad, the unexpected surprises that we have. For me, and for leaving Indiana and moving west, I had some good luck because my wife was eager and ready to leave Indiana, with our newborn child leaving her hometown too. We were high school sweethearts and grew up 3 blocks apart. I'm happy to say that Jan is still my wife and best friend, and is here this morning. With the other special guests, for sure I've been lucky there. Sometimes good luck, or bad, is immediate, clear, and blatantly obvious. I began climbing a few years after moving to Montana. My climbing career has certainly had some easily recognizable good luck. 3 of us spent a very long night buzzing and glowing from electricity high on an exposed ridge in the Canadian Rockies, but we were never hit by lightning despite the hundreds of nearby strikes. That was just luck. It sure wasn't skill or judgment that got us through. The truth is that we knew better as the forecast called for major thunderstorms, but we went anyway. We were foolish and we got lucky. A few years later, on a major expedition in the Yukon, I took a 25-foot fall into a crevasse after a snow bridge collapsed in a large ice fall during a nasty storm that left visibility to perhaps 20 yards. The rope held, I was uninjured, and was able to climb out. That was definitely good luck, especially given the remoteness of our location. Either of those situations could just as easily have gone the other way. That list goes on. Undoubtedly, we've all had close calls of some sort, and we all know people who are not so lucky. Had some good luck at other times too. I was at the right place at the right time, but maybe didn't realize it when it happened. Looking back now, I can see how lucky I was. In each case, the list of lucky circumstances is too long to go through, but some are significant. Very bad job experience at one place led us to moving to Clyde Park, Montana, and meeting an MSU professor who happened to help me make connections to start graduate school, with the timing such that I found a perfect research advisor who had a research project that worked better than we had hoped. I was able to complete my graduate degree relatively quickly because the project worked so well, which was good for my very tight budget, with a spouse also in school and 2 young children. After grad school, I worked for 2 years at jobs that weren't ideal, and at one point didn't get the job I thought would have provided the perfect career for me, but ended up a year later at UMW instead that did provide my ideal career. I was able to get involved with the Nepal project as I am friends with the people who created the Kubu Climbing Center. And while working there, met several Denali climbing rangers and got involved with that program. Sounds like a lot of good luck, of happy circumstances. There was certainly some of that, but I still needed to see the good luck and pursue it with hard work and perseverance. None of these things worked out for me without a huge amount of effort. Things didn't just happen. When I became first aware of the potential opportunities, I went after them. There are times to wait, to be patient, but there are also times to actively pursue things. On rare occasions, life just happens. Don't be a passive bystander if you have some goals. Get after things. And here's the bigger thing, there was plenty of bad luck too. I've lost family members, including a 14-year-old brother when I was 12. I lost a good friend in a climbing accident in 1999, lost friends prematurely due to medical conditions, some to accidents. I didn't get the jobs I wanted. That list of bad luck, failures, and losses also goes on. We all experience good luck and we all experience bad luck. It never exactly evens out. And it seems that some people lead lives of perpetual good luck while others can't catch a break. There's likely some truth to that. Life isn't fair. Given that there are over 7 billion humans, odds are that some of them have disproportionate amount of good fortune while others have mostly bad. It's been said that life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. Most of us are about in the middle of the luck spectrum. But it's even more complex than good luck and bad. When things happen, we may see it as good or bad, but we don't really know at the time. To this day, one of the worst experiences of my life was the death of my brother. He was 14 and died with two 16-year-old friends when the car they were in collided with the train on a dark country road in October 1968. I was stunned by the tragic and sudden death. My parents, like all parents who lose children, were devastated. An already fragile marriage soon fell apart. My parents eventually moved on in separate ways, but I believe that neither of them ever really fully recovered from that loss. For reasons that I didn't understand at age 12, I felt compelled to help them in any way I could. I took a much bigger role in my family's well-being. That led to an increase in my sense of personal responsibility to my family, my friends and community, and myself. I felt forced to grow up quickly. I felt forced to, I didn't have big enough fun after all. Next time it'll be 18. I felt forced to grow up quickly and I began to take leadership roles at school, in my church youth group, and in some work situations. In short, I grew enormously from the loss, became a better person as a result. It was one of the most influential experiences of my life. Fast forward a few decades, and I found myself being asked to be a college dean and then X1 project director. But I had been prepared for those significant roles without the growth that came from the loss. But I have been the same person without the tragedy. I don't know, but I do believe that one of the greatest tragedies of my life ultimately left me feeling at least somewhat prepared for one of the most significant opportunities that came my way. There was some good luck, or at least some good outcomes that came from that. My entire KCC experience was based on my friendship with Alex Lowe, a famous climber who died in Tibet in 1999. Without his death, the Alex Lowe Charitable Foundation would not have formed, and KCC, the Khumbu Climbing Center, would not exist. There are nearly 1,000 Sherpas working on Everest each spring, and over 600 of them are graduates of the KCC program. Without KCC, the safety of Sherpas would be much less than it is today. The tragic loss led to better lives and longer lives for many of the professional guides in Nepal, and better lives for their families as a result. So what's the summary? What should you do? Is there a take-home lesson from all of this? I sure hope so. You're going to have some good luck and some bad. It may not even out. I don't need to remind you that life isn't fair, but also realize that some people are fair. Be one of those. Don't waste your time complaining about the unfairness. When bad luck happens, deal with it, but don't let it control or destroy you. Learn from it and grow from it. Get out of it what you can and move on. And think about it. What would a world be like if we knew all our futures? If everything worked out exactly as planned? If there was no good luck or no bad? No uncertainties? How would we know we were happy if we never felt sad? Or feel any sort of victory if there was never failure or loss? Our joys and tragedies are inevitably intertwined. So don't dwell on the negative, but keep your eyes open for good luck and follow that direction when the opportunity arises. Be curious. Say yes to opportunities. We associate yes with young people, but don't stop saying it as the years go by. You'll still have much to offer, maybe more. Set goals throughout life. Change them when you need to, but keep watching for those lucky breaks and learning from the unlucky. Keep moving forward. Sometimes you have to really seek out those lucky opportunities to find them. And sometimes the unexpected may be the best thing that could happen. Don't be a passive passenger in your life. Control your life to the extent that you can. Pathways are not straight lines, and we need to make choices. Yogi Berra also said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Your life already has had many forks, and there are more to come. You do have to choose one of the paths or options. How do you know which one is the right one? We'd like to think that we're rational decision makers, using some sort of cost-benefit analysis, but we don't work that way. We're more emotional about it, more compulsive. We tend to follow our gut feelings, what's in our heart, what we believe will make us most happy. In some cases, choices may seem obvious, and maybe the obvious choice is ultimately the best one. But often it's not all that obvious that you still have to make a choice. That choice leads to more forks in the road, each of which requires a never-ending series of choices. You'll likely never know if you always made the right choice, and we will definitely make some bad choices. But we still need to lead our lives in a positive way. The infinite number of pathways provides infinite opportunities. Some of my choices led to pathways that resulted in my ideal job in southwestern Montana, teaching at a small university. I was also fortunate enough to have made other choices that led to Nepal and KCC as well as Denali. What would my life have been without those opportunities? Who knows? Maybe better options would have come along that I didn't see because I was already too busy. Perhaps not. Could I still have had a happy, meaningful, and fulfilling life? Absolutely. My life could have been better, worse, or about the same. Only different. Where are you going? I sure couldn't have answered that question for myself when I graduated, and probably you can't either. But take heart, it's not a bad thing. And whether you have specific plans already in mind, or are still searching, more paths will open and you'll make choices. Whatever those choices and wherever they lead, I encourage you to make the most of your lives. I urge you to not second guess your decisions after the fact, but just learn from the results of those decisions. There's no value in bemoaning what might have been. Those choices are in the past. There will be failures, losses, and disappointments, but don't give up, as there will also be successes, victories, and joy. Continue to move forward. Find meaning, purpose, and happiness in your life and the lives of those around you. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you this morning, and as you travel life's winding paths, I wish you all the very best of luck. And again, congratulations on your outstanding accomplishment.
Thank you, Dr. Mock. Wise words indeed. I don't know, I don't think I'll ever look at luck quite the same. At this time, Provost McLean, would you please come to the podium for the awarding of degrees?
Chancellor Reed, distinguished guests, family, and friends, as we near the conferring of degrees, I'd like to call your attention to a group of special students who have excelled in their studies, earning the distinction of graduating with honors. First, I'd like to recognize the students who have achieved a grade point average between 3.33 and 3.64, earning them the distinction of cum laude. Today they wear red and white intertwined cords. Would all students graduating cum laude please stand to be recognized? Cum laude graduates, you may be seated. Next, students who have achieved a grade point average between 3.65 and 3.84 have earned the high distinction of magna cum laude and are recognized by their silver cords. Would the students graduating magna cum laude please stand to be recognized? Graduates, you may be seated. Finally, students in the next group have earned a grade point average of no less than 3.85, a truly remarkable scholastic achievement. Today they are wearing gold cords and are graduating summa cum laude. Would all students graduating summa cum laude please stand to be recognized? Graduates, you may be seated. Will all candidates for the graduate certificate and post-baccalaureate certificate in teacher education please stand? Chancellor Reed, on behalf of the faculty of the University of Montana Western, I present these candidates for the graduate certificate and post-baccalaureate certificate in teacher education. By virtue of the authority of the Board of Regents of the Montana University System, by law, and on the recommendation of the faculty, we confer the graduate certificate and the post-baccalaureate certificate in teacher education with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Will the candidates please come forward?
Post-baccalaureate, certificate, special education, summa cum laude. Jennifer Lynn Adair, post-baccalaureate, certificate, elementary education, summa cum laude. Estelle Joy Cison Delasay, post-baccalaureate, certificate, special education, summa cum laude. Lisa Nicole Vandersloot, post-baccalaureate, certificate, business education, magna cum laude. Jessie Ann Burrell, post-baccalaureate, certificate, special education, summa cum laude. Eva Hoops Fisher, Bachelor of Science, elementary education.